1973, millions of Lincoln 1-cent coins rolled off the presses, but hidden among them was a version so rare, so mysterious, that it has stunned collectors for decades. And here's the shocking part. One of these small copper coins, something you might have sitting unnoticed in an old jar or shoebox, has sold for as much as $900,000. Some experts even say its true value could climb into the millions. Now, before you rush to check your change, let me ask you this. What if the coin that could change your financial future forever has been hiding in plain sight, jingling in your pocket, tossed in a drawer, or collecting dust in a family coin album? The story begins with a subtle detail most people never notice. On U.S. coins, the mint mark, those tiny letters that show where the coin was made, can be crucial. In 1973, most Lincoln cents carried a small D for Denver or an S for San Francisco. But then, a mysterious error occurred. A batch of coins escaped the mint without any mark at all. No D, no S, just a blank. At first glance, nothing seems unusual. But to a trained eye, that missing mint mark transforms an ordinary penny into a once-in-a-lifetime discovery. Think about that for a moment. A coin worth 1 cent by design, suddenly worth hundreds of thousands of dollars because of what isn't there. It's like a secret hidden in negative space, a ghost detail, and that's where the real intrigue begins. Collectors started noticing faint inconsistencies, die variations, subtle shifts, and misstrikes that pointed to deeper errors in those no-mint mark coins. Were they accidental or deliberate? Theories swirled. Some speculated that a batch escaped the mint under unusual circumstances. Others believed that employees, knowingly or unknowingly, created a rarity that would become one of the most valuable mistakes in American coinage. But here's the kicker. Unlike many collectible coins that are locked away in museums or private vaults, these 1973 no-mint mark Lincoln cents are still out there. That means someone, maybe even you, could be sitting on a fortune without realizing it. Imagine walking into a coin shop with what you thought was just another penny, and walking out with enough money to buy a house outright, or to pay off every last bill, or to finally live that dream lifestyle you've been promising yourself. Now, you might be asking, how do you know if your penny is the right one? This is where careful inspection comes in. Experts advise looking for sharp details on Lincoln's portrait, crisp edges, and, most importantly, the complete absence of a mint mark under the date. But even then, authentication is crucial. Counterfeits abound. Which brings us to the unsettling truth. For every real fortune hidden in someone's drawer, there are countless fakes waiting to fool the unwary. And here's where urgency comes into play. Because when a coin like this hits the market, it doesn't just sell. It sets records. In recent years, verified examples have fetched prices that leave collectors gasping. One went for nearly $900,000 at auction. Others are whispered about in private sales, where the amounts reach toward the million-dollar mark. And as interest in rare coins surges, the value of truly scarce examples only climbs higher. Let me reset your attention for a moment. Think about the irony. We spend our lives chasing bigger paychecks, better investments, more opportunities, while the very thing that could make us wealthy might be sitting in the bottom of a change jar, ignored and forgotten. Isn't that wild? But here's the twist. Not every no-mint mark penny from 1973 will command those eye-watering sums. Condition is everything. Collectors use a grading scale that measures even the faintest scratch, the tiniest blemish. A coin in pristine condition is like a flawless diamond. It skyrockets in value. Meanwhile, a worn example may still be worth far more than a cent, but not life-changing money. This is why the hunt matters. Every person who checks an old coin jar or a childhood piggy bank steps into a game of chance, where the payoff could be unimaginable. And make no mistake, people are searching, quietly, methodically, hoping to be the one who uncovers the next lost treasure. Now, you might be wondering, why haven't I heard about this before? Why isn't it splashed across headlines every day? The truth is, rare coin finds don't happen every minute. They happen quietly, unexpectedly, and usually to someone who least expects it. That's what makes stories of sudden wealth so gripping and so possible. Picture this. A retired couple discovers a forgotten tin of old pennies in their attic. Among them lies a flawless 1973 no-mint Mark Lincoln cent. They take it to be appraised, and within months, they're holding a check that erases decades of financial worry. Or the single parent juggling bills who stumbles across a small coin collection from a grandparent, only to realize one coin alone could send their kid to college debt-free. These aren't fantasies. They're real-life reminders that fortune favors the curious. And that brings us to the question you cannot ignore. Have you checked your pennies? Right now, you could be closer to a financial windfall than you ever imagined. So what's the takeaway? The 1973 no-mint Mark Lincoln cent isn't just a coin. It's a symbol of hidden wealth, of the chance that ordinary people have to stumble upon extraordinary fortune. With a current market value hovering around $900,000 and potential to climb even higher, it remains one of the most jaw-dropping treasures of American coinage. And here's the final cliffhanger. Somewhere, right now, another one of these coins is waiting to be found. It might be in a jar on your dresser, buried in an old collection you inherited, or resting unnoticed in the palm of your hand. So the next time you pick up a penny, pause for a moment. Look closely, because what looks like spare change might just be the key to changing your life forever. Imagine holding a penny in your hand, a coin so ordinary, so familiar, you've probably tossed thousands into jars, car cup holders, or couch cushions without a second thought. But what if I told you that one of these tiny copper coins, a 1982 Lincoln cent, could secretly be worth nearly $1 million? That a single penny, the kind you ignore on the sidewalk, might just hold the key to life-changing wealth. This isn't a fairy tale. This is the shocking reality of the 1982 no-mint Mark Lincoln cent. A coin so rare, so mysterious, that collectors have paid staggering amounts, with one verified sale reaching an astonishing $892,000. Yes, almost $1 million for one penny. But why? Why would anyone pay that much for something so small, so common? The answer lies in a strange twist of history, hidden minting errors, and the kind of once-in-a-lifetime rarity that transforms pocket change into treasure. Let's rewind. The year is 1982. The U.S. Mint was in transition. Copper prices were soaring, and the penny, which was made almost entirely of copper, was suddenly more expensive to produce than its own face value. To solve the problem, the Mint switched the composition from copper to zinc coated with a thin layer of copper. Two metals, two weights, two versions of the same coin, both circulating side by side. And here's where it gets interesting. That year, the Mint produced not just one design, but 7 different variations of the Lincoln cent: small date, large date, copper, zinc, Denver Mint Mark, Philadelphia No Mint Mark. The combinations were endless. But in this flurry of production, something went wrong. A tiny, almost imperceptible error slipped through. A coin left the presses missing its mint mark, a crucial letter that identifies where it was struck. Now, if you're thinking, so what? It's just a missing letter. Let me stop you right there. Because in the world of coin collecting, that missing letter is like a missing signature on a priceless painting. It transforms an everyday object into a rarity that serious collectors will fight over. And in the case of the 1982 no-mint Mark cent, it elevates the coin into legendary status. But here's the catch. Most people don't even know they might have one. That jar of pennies in your closet, that coffee can in your garage, somewhere in there could be the very coin that changes your life. And the scary part? People throw them away every single day without realizing it. Now, let me ask you, when was the last time you checked the date and mint mark on your pennies? Exactly. Almost never. And that's why this story is so powerful. The 1982 no-mint Mark Lincoln cent is hiding in plain sight, and almost no one bothers to look closely enough. But what makes it truly shocking isn't just the missing mint mark. Hidden inside this story are layers of subtle details that separate a penny worth 1 cent from one worth nearly $1 million. Weight matters. Design matters. Even the tiniest difference in the size of the numbers in the date, what collectors call large date and small date, can mean the difference between pocket change and a small fortune. Picture this. 2 pennies, both 1982. To the naked eye, they look identical. But place them on a scale and one weighs 3.1 grams, the other 2.5 grams. One is copper, one is zinc. Add in the question of whether the date is large or small, and suddenly you're looking at 7 unique variations. Among them, only one, the 1982D small date copper cent, and its mysterious cousin, the no mint mark error, are worth staggering sums. And that's where collectors go absolutely wild. Because finding one is like discovering buried treasure in your own home. Imagine the scene. You're at the kitchen table, sifting through a handful of old change. Your heart skips as you notice the date, 1982. You look closer. No mint mark. You grab a scale, your hands trembling. The weight is right. The details match. In that moment, you're holding a coin worth not pennies, not hundreds, not even thousands, but hundreds of thousands of dollars. Now, let me pause and drop a little humor here, because if you're like most people, you're already thinking, wait a second, I've probably given away $1 million in pennies at gas stations by now. And yes, the thought stings. But that's exactly why you cannot afford to ignore this. And here's the urgency. Coins like this don't just sit around forever. As word spreads, collectors scoop them up. They vanish into private collections, locked away, never to hit the market again. Every year, fewer remain in circulation. Every year, the chance that one is hiding in your house grows smaller. And every year, the value climbs higher. In fact, the current market worth of one of these elusive 1982 no-mint mark Lincoln cents? $892,000. That's a verified sale. Real money. Not speculation, not rumor, reality. A penny turned into almost $1 million. So, the question is no longer whether these coins are valuable. The real question is, will you find one before someone else does? Think about it. That dusty coin jar could be your ticket to financial freedom. That forgotten box of change in your attic could be the seed of a dream lifestyle. A bigger home, a faster car, a future without financial stress. And it all starts with the smallest, most overlooked coin in your wallet. So tonight, when you empty your pockets, don't toss those pennies aside. Look at them, study them, because somewhere out there, waiting quietly, is a 1982 no-mint mark Lincoln cent. And if you're lucky enough to find it, your life might never be the same again. And here's the final twist. Most people will watch this video, feel the rush of excitement, and then do nothing. They'll go back to life, leaving their coins untouched, their fortune undiscovered. But a few of you, the ones with curiosity, patience, and a touch of daring, will take action. And one of you just might end up holding the coin that makes history. So, I'll leave you with this. The next time you see a penny, don't just see 1 cent. See possibility. See adventure. See the chance that fate has slipped $1 million secret into your pocket. Because sometimes, the smallest things carry the biggest treasures. And the 1982 no-mint mark Lincoln cent is living proof. Tonight, we're uncovering the chilling mystery of a coin so deceptive, so ordinary. You've probably held one without knowing. The 1989 Lincoln 1-cent coin, but not just any. The one without a mint mark. A mistake so rare, so hidden, that collectors have paid up to $884,000 for a single piece. And yes, experts say its value could climb into the millions. Now you're probably asking, how on earth can a penny be worth nearly $1 million? That's exactly the question we're about to answer. But first, let's take a step back. Because in order to understand why, you need to know the secret world of coin errors. For over 200 years, the United States Mint has produced billions of coins. Billions. And in a system that massive, mistakes are inevitable. Sometimes it's a double die, where the design is accidentally struck twice, leaving eerie ghost-like shadows across the lettering. Other times it's a clipped planchet, where the coin literally has a chunk missing. But among all these anomalies, there is one error that sends shockwaves through the numismatic world: the missing mint mark. See, every coin struck in America carries a tiny letter telling you where it was born: Denver, San Francisco, Philadelphia. But in 1989, a small batch of Lincoln cents slipped into circulation without their mint mark. No D, no S, no P, just blank. And that tiny absence turned an ordinary penny into a ticking time bomb of value. Now, here's where the story takes a darker turn. Because these coins don't announce themselves. They don't gleam in gold. They don't sparkle with diamonds. They look, to the naked eye, like any penny rattling around in your change jar. Which means right now, as you're watching this, there's a real possibility you already own one and don't even know it. So how do you know if you've got the treasure or just another copper-coated dream? Here's the catch. Only expert eyes, sometimes even microscopes, can confirm it. That's how insidious this is. The difference between a penny worth 1 cent and a penny worth $884,000 could be almost invisible. But let me ask you, would you take the chance? Would you sift through every jar, every roll of pennies from the bank, every dusty shoebox in your attic if the reward was generational wealth? Because collectors already are. And the competition is fierce. Picture this. You're at a garage sale. A man is selling old coin rolls for a couple of bucks. You grab them almost as an afterthought. Later that night, as you dump them on your kitchen table, one coin catches your eye. It looks different. No mint mark. Your heart races. You look closer, your hands shaking, and the realization hits. In your palm sits a coin that could pay off your mortgage, send your kids to college, or fund your retirement. Imagine that rush. That moment. But here's the twist most people don't realize. The market for these error coins is exploding. Demand is at an all-time high. Every year, as fewer and fewer examples surface, the price skyrockets. The last confirmed sale? A staggering $884,000. And experts warn that's just the beginning. Some predict the next one could break the $1 million barrier. And yet, here's the suspenseful irony. Millions of Americans continue to overlook pennies entirely. They toss them in jars, leave them in tip trays, even sweep them into the trash, not realizing they might be throwing away a small fortune. So let me ask you directly. When was the last time you actually looked at your change? When was the last time you studied the date, the details, the mint mark? Because the moment you stop paying attention, that's when opportunity slips right through your fingers. Now, don't get me wrong. Not every 1989 penny is going to be a jackpot. Most are worth exactly what they say, 1 cent. But that's what makes the hunt thrilling. Because every single one you check could be the one. And in that uncertainty lies the allure. The chance to turn the mundane into the extraordinary. And here's a little secret collectors don't want me to tell you. The biggest finds? They often come from ordinary places. A coin jar in a dusty garage. A drawer in grandma's old desk. A forgotten coffee can buried in the basement. History has proven time and time again. Fortunes hide in the plainest places, so here's your challenge. Tonight, when this video ends, don't just walk away. Take action. Grab that old jar of change. Go through those rolls. Look at every 1989 penny you can find. Because someone, somewhere, is going to discover the next missing mint mark Lincoln cent. And when they do, their life will change forever. The only question is, will it be you? Because while most people sleep on their pennies, the wise see them for what they truly are. Tiny tickets to unimaginable wealth. And the 1989 no mint mark Lincoln cent? That's the golden ticket hidden in copper clothing, so the next time you hear that clink of a coin hitting the counter, don't ignore it. Listen closely, because it just might be the sound of your future fortune, slipping quietly into your hands. Would you like me to make the script even more tailored for voice pacing, with subtle pauses, tonal shifts, and suspense beats, so it naturally runs about 10 minutes when read aloud? Now, imagine that very penny could be worth not just $1, not just $1,000, but over $871,000, and in some cases even more. Sounds impossible, right? Well, tonight, We're diving into the mysterious world of the 1991 Lincoln cent with no mint mark, a coin that has shocked collectors, stunned experts, and changed lives. But here's the twist. Most people who own this coin don't even realize what they're holding. It slips through fingers, passed in change at the grocery store, quietly hiding in a jar on someone's dresser. Could it be sitting in your house right now? Stay with me, because by the end of this video, you'll know exactly what to look for and why a simple penny could transform your financial future. Let's start with a secret hidden in plain sight. Every US coin is supposed to carry a small mark, a mint mark, identifying where it was made. Denver, San Francisco, Philadelphia. But in 1991, something strange happened. A number of Lincoln cents slipped into circulation without that tiny mint mark. At first, no one noticed. After all, who looks closely at a penny? But as the years went by, collectors began to whisper. Something wasn't right. And here's where the story takes a chilling turn. Some of these 1991 no-mint mark pennies weren't just missing that detail, they carried bizarre, microscopic errors. Doubling in the lettering. Strange shifts in the date. Tiny cracks, known as die breaks, that turned ordinary copper-coated zinc into numismatic gold. To the untrained eye, they look like pocket change. But to experts, they're like buried treasure. Now, think about this. You could have one of these pennies right now hiding in an old coffee can, mixed in with decades of change. And the shocking truth? One of these coins has sold for nearly $871,000 on the open market. Another, with a particularly dramatic error, has been valued by collectors at well over $1 million. Imagine the kind of life-changing phone call that would be, to hear that the penny you almost spent on a gumball could buy you a mansion. But here's the million-dollar question. How do you know if you have the right one? First, you'll want to grab a magnifying glass. Look for the missing mint mark. There should be nothing under the date, just a clean, blank space. Next, inspect the details. Do the letters look doubled? Does the rim look unusual, maybe slightly misaligned? These small flaws are the very clues that turn copper into fortune. And here's a twist most people don't expect. Even if your coin doesn't have the dramatic errors, collectors are still paying shocking amounts for clean, uncirculated versions of this 1991 no-mint mark cent. Why? Scarcity. The coin world thrives on rarity, and the fewer that exist in pristine condition, the higher the price climbs. Pause for a moment and let that sink in. You might be sitting on life-changing wealth and not even know it. Would you really want to risk spending that fortune on a cup of coffee tomorrow morning? Here's another shocking revelation. Experts predict the value of these coins will only rise. As more are discovered and tucked away into private collections, the supply shrinks, driving up demand. That means what's worth $871,000 today could easily push past the $1 million mark in the coming years. And now comes the urgency. Every day, people unknowingly spend these coins back into circulation. They vanish into vending machines, bank deposits, or the hands of someone who will never notice. Every lost coin is a lost fortune. The clock is ticking, and the chance to find one grows slimmer with every passing year. So what should you do? Start searching. Empty those jars of coins, dig through old piggy banks, check the glove compartment of your car. If you find a 1991 Lincoln cent with no mint mark, don't rush to spend it, rush to have it appraised. That little disc of metal could be the key to your dream house, your retirement fund, your legacy. And here's the final cliffhanger. The story of the 1991 no mint mark Lincoln cent isn't just about money. It's about the thrill of discovery, the power of knowledge, and the reminder that sometimes the smallest things hold the greatest value. The next time you feel the weight of a penny in your hand, ask yourself, is this the one? Could this be my ticket to a fortune? Because someone somewhere right now is holding that $1 million penny. And the only question left is, could it be you?